Hey everybody, Dogbear here. My first ever top 11 characters. This one's from May 22. It is 11 characters because I wanted 10 individuals, but there's a duo on here, so I kind of had to put them in here. You pretty much know what that duo is, and probably where they're going to rank, but I made it 11 so we have at least 10 individuals, and we'll have that one duo, plus we can go over T4 and ISO recommendations. So let's get started. Starting off our list at number 11 is Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, of course, is amazing in war on defense. Could even be used on offense if you're going that route. He is part of the skill raid team that we use. Absolutely phenomenal, does huge amounts of damage. Great choice for City Dark Dimension. Obvious choice for his ISO is Raider. And as far as D4s, all of them make Shang-Chi do more damage. That's what he does. The fact that he came out broken and has a heal now just made him all the better. He wasn't supposed to be this strong, but he is. That's what makes him number 11. In at number 10 is Shuri. Her kit was always good. It's their recent rework gave her the stats that she needs to survive and actually make her very much useful in the tech raid. She was always useful in the tech raid. The problem was she would just die and that would be the end of it. The fact that she gives out energy makes her great, and she is really helping those tech at Doom Tech lane anyway, making it palatable. But we still need that tech team. As far as the T4s, it depends on what you're using it for. If you're using it with their whole team or not. Definitely the passive, and definitely the ultimate here for the heal and extra heal, and the passive, of course, giving her more health, which makes her heal more. The basic can be used. It's a 2-turn heal block if you use that. And this special, it says for 4 random Wakandan allies that is only used for on her team, but her team is quite good and worth building up for Cosmic Crucible, which is probably the 3rd most important game mode. She is a Dark Dimension candidate, but her high cost at 72 might put her out of your range, but she is the legendary character, so it might be worth it because she is tech. I do prefer the healer ISO on her, but you can also make the argument for a skirmisher to help out with that Silver Surfer in Node 1 of the tech lanes. The only thing really keeping her down, she's good in war, of course, with her team. The only thing keeping her down would be there's no place for her in the arena, really. Other than that, phenomenal character now, and we got the rework. She's good to go. Moving on. At number 9, I have Captain Sam, another member of that skill raid team. He has popped in and out of the arena a couple times on some hybrid teams for certain counters, but not too much. He is still phenomenal in war as part of the Secret Avengers team, which can be pretty much a plug-and-play character also if you're using him anywhere else. Of course, great for Dark Dimension as well. The reason being mostly because he generates energy not just for skill characters, but also for his other random allies. And then top that off with his ultimate, giving speed bar to his allies. This is going to be a character that's going to be around for quite a while, and it's going to be quite good for quite a while. He has a pretty good health pool. He is almost nearing a year old in age, but he's still incredibly valuable and still very much needed. All the T4s are very useful on him. The only one I would say that's kind of maybe you consider a luxury would be his basic, but I really like the fact that it always clears a positive effect once you have that T4 on it. I love clearing positive effects. I don't want to be stuck behind a taunt. As far as his ISO, I go with Skirmisher on him, giving him extra focus and allowing him to put out vulnerables when he retaliates. It's always quite nice, and of course then with that you can even clear yet another positive effect. And moving on. At number 8, I have Jubilee. This legendary character's been around for quite a while, coming out over a year ago, but she is still phenomenal. Without Jubilee, there is pretty much no Axeman team that can work properly, especially in raids. But she is also phenomenal outside of her team as well. Phenomenal in Dark Dimensions on the legendary nodes. Being a mutant is kind of a little bit of a hurt because there's so many other good mutants out there. But I would highly recommend her, taking her to Dark Dimension despite her higher cost at 72. As far as ISO, you can either do Striker like I have, or you can go Skirmisher to get that extra focus. Her basic ability to be able to blind on basic is absolutely tremendous. No other character does that. She is truly legendary as far as her kit. As far as T4s, pretty much put them all on. You'll need them at one point or another, inside or outside of her team. Another character that will probably be around a little while because of how good she is, because her team is definitely falling off in raids. We're having some problems with it right now in Doom 2.3. If anybody's going to survive, though, into another mutant raid team, it will probably be Jubilee. Heading on. And at number 7, I had to move my number because this character model is so big, is Omega Red. The only reason why he is above Jubilee on this list is because you can use him on some arena counters to help in the arena. Absolutely phenomenal in either side of war with his team. He is a phenomenal standalone character too. I actually use him in the Doom 2.3 raids on nodes 2 and 3. Him having an ability block is gigantic, and of course his trauma. He was the character that introduced trauma to the game. If you have a smaller Sabretooth, a bigger Sabretooth, you can run Striker on him, but I do highly recommend actually running Skirmisher on Omega Red. Helps him land those ability blocks more frequently, and eventually he's going to get bigger than Sabretooth, and you'll have to land him on Misty Knight as well. Pretty much every single T4 in this guy, it's really good to have them all. Everything he does steals health. He's a tremendous Dark Dimension character. With his health steal, healing himself up. He's very hard to kill. He's has a high health pool. Everything you'd want out of a character. Moving on. In at number 6 is the Dark Dimension 4 reward, Dr. Doom. He has fallen quite a bit thanks to the Darkhold team coming into Arena, mostly Morgan Le Fay, who can hard counter him and ability block him very quickly. That's the reason why he's fallen. He's lost his Arena availability. He's not useful in Arena. How's that? I can't talk. But he is still very useful outside of Arena. He is absolutely necessary for the Doom Tech raids. We still need him for that. When he first came out, he was absolutely necessary for the Mystic nodes in Doom, but that has since gone away thanks to New Warriors and the Eternals. But he's still a phenomenal character. Even outside of that, he has probably the best ultimate game in that it gives you 6 turns, and he heals up a character. So it's still a phenomenal character, still very much to be built. Absolutely phenomenal in Dark Dimension 5 if you're building for globals. Dual tags with the Tech and Mystic, so his gear is a little bit is part of each, so he's not as costly as you would think he would be to take into Dark Dimension 5. I run Blue ISO level 3 Skirmisher. Doom does damage, make Doom do more damage. All the T4s into this guy, he can't go wrong. He'll probably be around for quite a while longer. It's just a matter of will he return to the arena. It's hard to say. Moving on. At number 5 is Kestrel, now a year old already, and she is still one of the best characters in this game. With her dual tech and skill, she is used on the skill raid team and, of course, on the tech raid team. Still very much necessary. She is the only character who can block summons currently at this time. Whether that be Hela, Sinister, or Phoenix, she will stop them at least one time. Phenomenal character still. Of course, useful in war, useful in raids. It can be used in the arena depending on what you're facing and how big you have her. I usually run Blue ISO level 3 Striker on her, although there is a case in certain situations to use Raider, especially in the arena. But overall, Striker is the best option for her. You want all the T4s into her. She's going to do phenomenal damage. She clears off the negative effects off of herself on her turn. She heals herself up. She is very annoying to kill. A very good character to have. Moving on to number 4. Number 4 might surprise you. Who I put up here is Dormammu. My problems with Dormammu is he's really not game breaking like Ultron was when he came out, or is necessary for a raid node as when Doom came out. He is the Dark Dimension 5 reward. But he is a very good character. I mean, he's number 4 out of, however, 180 some characters in the game. Useful on arena defense. Can be quite annoying. It's kind of weird that he does not give himself the revive. It's only his other teams. That's what kind of makes him a little bit easier to kill. is that you just knock him out, but if he gets a turn off, he does quite a bit of damage. Quite a lot of pretty much use anywhere in the game. That is why he's number 4. But the things keeping him back is we don't need him for the Mystic raids at all. He's just a war attack and an arena character right now. And Cosmic Crucible has brought his stock back up as well. Since you definitely want to use him if you have him in Cosmic Crucible. So let's move on to number 3. At number 3, I have a character who's almost 2 years old, still unfarmable, can only be gotten out of those Milestone 2 orbs, and that's Emma Frost. She is absolutely a phenomenal character, but the problem, like I said, is her farmability, really. Whenever we need a character to manipulate speed, we go to Emma. Because of her passive here, she is the only character that actually reduces the actual speed. She does not reduce speed bar. She reduces the speed of the characters themselves by 10%. No other character does that. She has been phenomenal on more. She can heal herself up. She can mind control. Absolutely amazing character. You only really need 2 T4s on her, that being the passive and the special. And if you care about war, then you would do, the special and ultimate you need. The passive would be only if you cared about war. Still used in the arena for the hybrid to beat the Darkholds. She just keeps coming up. She was used with the Eternals to beat Infinity Watch. She was going with the Infinity Watch versus Infinity Watch meta, but she keeps coming back. I use her in Doom 2.3 raids as part of the hybrid team on the 2nd and 3rd nodes. Absolutely phenomenal character, healing herself up. Until recently, I always ran her as a healer, which you could still do. If you're using her arena, you probably want to run her as skirmisher. Want to make sure the slows and blinds get out there. Absolutely tremendous character. Hopefully they make her a little bit easier for new players to get in the future. Now to number 2. Although she is number 2 on my list, she is technically the number 1 standalone character. Morgan Le Fay, of course. Ruling the arena currently. Doesn't even in the hybrid, you still use her. She is always going to be useful. Ability blocking Mystic controllers. Right off the bat, she is just insane. Her health pool is gigantic. High resistance. Pretty good focus, too. Absolutely insane in Dark Dimension. Used everywhere in the game. If you can use Morgan, you use Morgan. She is truly a legendary character who's probably going to be around for a while, because once we have all the Horsemen in Apocalypse, she'll probably still be on the arena team. It's just a matter of how is that team going to look? How crazy is it going to look? If it wasn't for the duo at the top, which you pretty much already know, she would be number 1. I do run her as Blue ISO level 3 skirmisher, mostly because of arena. If you want to get fancy and start using her elsewhere, you might want to run Raider or Striker on her, depending on how you're using her. She can be used in the Mystic raids. If you so choose, there is teams that work with her. If you don't want to build up like Cloak and Dagger or New Warriors, you can just use Darkhold. That works too. All the T4s into this legendary character definitely build her if you have her. And finally, number 1. And of course, number 1 on the list is the duo of the Eternals, Icarus and Circe. Scopely tried to kill them off in the arena, but they failed to do so. They are still probably on the best arena offense team. Not as good on defense, not as annoying as the Darkhold with Dormammu is on defense to be annoying. But you can still use these to kill them. So they are number 1. Of course, in war, they kill everything. Except for probably Weapon X. Weapon X is still number 1 team. Use them in raids for the Mystic nodes, and they'll clear them out with the new Warriors. You can do some kind of hybrids with other characters, but they'll always be in there. They are absolutely insanely powered with their turn meter knockback, their self-healing, clearing up debuffs. As we look at both of them, Icarus, of course, being the more damage-based character, but not as tanky as Circe. And of course, Circe, being more the controller, truly is a controller. If you had to split them up and only choose one, I would choose Circe. She's a bit more tankier. Gives a little bit more of her kit with that extra stun. For all of them, the argument can be made for all the T4s. Either one of them you want to run. Cersei has a skirmisher, Icarus has a striker. They are definitely number one in the game duo. Like I said, though, if you had to separate them, Cersei would be the better of the two usually, just for longevity and the control she brings. Separated, they're not as good. They're not number one. Morgan Le Fay would be number one, that's for sure. So, what do you think of my list? Did I miss anybody? Do you think somebody should have been higher or been lower? Let me know in the comments below. As always, until next time.